Hey guys, I am Midnight Strike 3625. Welcome back to another classic review. So this time I'm going to take a look at an older classic. It is very old. It's from the year 1970, and it is known as Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Upside down. So this little gem came out to much criticism. It was practically panned because at the time Black Sabbath were the Nickelback of their generations. They were pretty much panned and negatively reviewed at pretty much anything they did. They couldn't release an album, they couldn't catch a break. And you know, it's a sad thing. It's a sad truth because they produced some really stellar material back then. This video was originally going to be some speculation on my part for the new release of their 13 album with Ozzy Osbourne back on vocals, but I decided to sort of combine a little bit of that with a review of their past album of Paranoid. So, to begin, this album opens up with the doomy War Pigs' Luke's Wall. So, most of everyone just calls it War Pigs. It's one of their classics. It's on Guitar Hero 2, and, well, it's just a really good song. It's slow, and it's very sound structurally. Great vocals, very thought-provoking if you actually look into it. It's pretty scary thought-provoking. And, I don't know, the voice, Ozzy sounds very, very much lighter in this song than he does in, like, his solo career or anything like that. But then again, he was a lot younger, and I don't know, his voice is just really good on this album overall, especially on this song. So, the next one is Paranoid. This one was written in a couple of days, I believe, like on a weekend, because they needed like just one more track to make a whole album. Albums back then were typically around like 8 or 9 songs back then, because, well, actually I don't know why, but they were typically 8 or 9 songs. But to make up for this, albums were pretty much released yearly, and as the user Maidenslave said in his review of Paranoid, albums were pretty much, you know, they can be written in a couple of weeks, and they could be, you know, stellar albums. They were stellar albums back then. In the 1970s to early to mid-80s, they were practically stellar albums. And now it takes bands like, what, 2-3 years to produce, you know, stuff that's passable, you know? I mean, it could be the greatest thing ever, but we'd have to probably wait like 5 years for it. So, but at least that's my speculation on what's been happening as of late. So, moving on, next song is Planet Caravan. I really could not for the life of me get into this song. It's got the more slow vibe to it. It's slower, it's gloomy, I don't know. For some reason I get the impression that he sounds like he's kind of singing it underwater. I don't know how to describe it. He's got sort of that ripple effect in his voice, Ozzy does. And while this song has grown on me in recent years, it's still not one of my favorite tracks overall. Pantera does the cover of this, and I tried listening to it, and it was basically the same story. I couldn't get into it. So, it's not to say it's a bad song, though. The next song is, let's see here, Iron Man, obviously. And this is Black Sabbath's signature track. It's probably one of the best tracks on the album, if not the best, along with War Pigs, Paranoid, Rat Salad, and Electric Funeral and Fairies Wear Boots. Basically, yeah, all of them. Every single track on this album, aside from Planet Caravan, is probably stellar, in my opinion, at least. But that riff is one of the most recognizable riffs in classic rock heavy metal history, and it's played over and over again, and even like to this day, Ozzy Osbourne in his solo career has played this song throughout the years. So that is a very good song. Clocks in at roughly 6 minutes. Next one is Hand of Doom. No, Electric Funeral. And this one starts off really slow, and it's got sort of like the Doom vocals again. Amazing starting riff though. I really like it. And but it picks up the pace, gets really, really fast-ish, sort of, for back then. For classic Sabbath, it gets kind of faster, kind of picks up the pace a little bit, and it pretty much stays good quality throughout the entire song. Now, the song after that is called Hand of Doom, and This is another slower one. Really sound structurally. I really like it. Rat Salad is the next song, and this one clocks in at around 2:30, making it the shortest song on the entire album, but rightfully so because it's an instrumental. And what I remember off this song the most is the drums. The drums are practically phenomenal. I mean, the pretty much a drum solo right in the center of that. The riff in it is pretty incredible as well, and it's a wonder that they took as short a time as they did recording this, you know, and writing it. It's really innovative. I recommend this to anyone, this album. Next one is Jack the Stripper, Fairies Wear Boots. Jack the Stripper is just like an in-song intro to it, and Fairies Wear Boots is the real thing. Very good riff, very good lyrics, or vocals. Lyrics are kind of iffy. They're kind of cliche, but vocals are good. Vocals are very good. And this is the last track on the album. It's a classic. I really dig it, so I don't know, me personally. A lot of other people too, but overall, I would say this album pretty much surpasses everything they have done thus far. Maybe with the exception of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I really love that album. Love the song. Love the Anthrax cover of it. But this, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and what's the other one? Not Volume 4. Master of Reality, the next one after this. That's what it was. I think those are my favorite Sabbath albums thus far. So, I'd rank overall Paranoid is probably my favorite. Probably rank it 9.8 out of 10. It's an amazing album. Just the one Planet Caravan I could not get into for the life of me. So, that's one detraction off of a shining gem that is pretty much revered today as the most innovative, influential album ever, pretty much. So, that's about it. Subscribe and comment if you like my stuff. Thanks for watching. I have Midnight Strike 3625.